Uh, Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you like the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you would like to reach out to us and communicate, you can find us on social media. We're on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook at Casting Roles ILM. And you can go to our website for a one-stop shop for all of our links and information, castrolls.com. We stream here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and with video uploads on YouTube the following Friday. But let's go ahead and start the show. So, ticket takers. After a tumultuous journey to the town of Hightower aboard the Royal Airship, you found yourself in the bustling metropolitan or cosmopolitan community of Hightower. You explored the Sylph Bazaar area, traveling to a few shops, and then made your way to the Absent Rapier, a bawdy, burlesque kind of show place as well as an inn. After a few of your members joining in on the Breaking the Cherry dance, you enjoyed the rest of the evening, where while you were sipping some drinks, a man named Toby came up to you and said that he was a representative of one of the leaders of Hightower, Lady Khalees Notice, and that she, as the headmistress of the Adventuring College, would like to invite the Adventuring Guild to come take a look at what they were doing there at the college. The next morning, after somewhat restful sleep for most of you, you headed back to the aerodrome, where you discovered that neither the Crown Authority of Alyria nor the Nuavian group were taking ownership of the airship that you commandeered, and with some kind of backroom finagling from Abel's father, you were able to gain partial ownership, or at least temporary ownership, of the airship from the Nuavian court. Then you headed off to the Adventuring College. In the pristine Aeolian ward of the city, kind of blocked off from everything else and guarded. You had to have a special pass that Toby gave you to get onto the island. And you came to this giant fort where they keep the college present, and were kind of guided through until you came to kind of a third floor observatory over this large central kind of coliseum-like structure. And there approaching was a tall Aarakocran female, Lady Khalees, and also with her was a violet-clad man with kind of straight black hair, clean-shaven face, and he introduced himself as Volmir Rylas, with the Violet Cloister. So, ticket takers, there, as these two individuals kind of approach you, what would you all like to do?
Wave.
Okay. So you wave, and they did introduce themselves. Lady Khalees introduced him, and Volmir took immediate interest in your presence, and you said, "Oh, I've heard of this adventuring guild. I would like to stick around, Lady Khalees. I know that our meeting time is over, but I would like to see part of their day here." And Lady Khalees says, "Of course, Volmir. The Violet Cloister is always welcome at the Adventuring College. So, ticket takers, welcome to the Adventuring College. What do you think so far?" And she's kind of waving around, and you see in front of you, like, you're on this like third floor balcony, and on the ground floor, this whole area is open. There's this deep sandy pit that is set up with various kind of like walkways, and there seems to be kind of like a little creek or something running through it. It kind of looks like it's set up almost like for a battle training or something, like a battle map. And you've kind of walked by and heard some people in classes and things like that. So she's just starting the conversation with you all.
It's big.
Quite, yes. My family inherited the fort structure, and Seeing as we did not need it for protection, we decided to reconvert it about 2 years ago into the Adventuring College.
It looks very nice.
Well, I appreciate it, yes. Now, there will be time, of course, for a tour of the grounds, but perhaps you might be interested in why I requested your presence here today.
It did cross my mind, yes.
We're very curious.
Well, I don't know how to put this in a way that doesn't come across as... Well, so approximately about a year ago, there was a delegation of representatives from various local communities around Alyria who visited Hightower and were kind of, part of a government delegation. One of those members happened to be an individual named Roland Longbranch. I assume you are familiar with him.
We are familiar with Mr. Roland, yes.
Yes, well, I gave him a tour of what was then the very early stages of the Adventuring College as part of this delegation, as a part of touring the Alien Ward. And it seems that he perhaps stole the idea of the Adventuring Guild from us and took it off in his own way. And while unfortunately there's nothing we can do about that now, as you are official by the Crown, I did think it might be interesting for us to form some kind of partnership.
Would there be membership dues?
Oh no. Unfortunately, as the guild members, I'm sure you're responsible for those on your end. But it might be beneficial for graduates of the Adventuring College to have a place that they could travel to perhaps join your group. Yes, I'm sorry, yes. Abel, were you going to say something?
Oh, I thought Mara was going to say something. I can't see,
No.
I can't see Rob or Grace's. It's just like your Google photo there. So
Oh, no. So she's now the one thing I am of course concerned with is that I assume you do not have a standard education. Is that correct?
I learned from my village elder.
I mean, I think most of us learned from experience, like in the field.
Oh, right. So I'm sure your knowledge is rather spotty then.
Well, I don't know how the airship works, but...
I apologize for any offense, but we've been training our graduates now for over a year, and I would hate to form a partnership with a group that I don't feel would be beneficial for the continuing of their own education, if that makes sense.
So, may I ask, since Mr. Roland beat you to the idea of creating an adventuring guild specifically based out of Broadfield, you wish to partner with us if we meet your standards.
I knew you would understand, yes.
What would the partnership bring to our adventuring guild? And what exactly would you want our assistance with?
Well,
again, if we meet your standards.
Well, of course, you will have a steady stream of potential applicants, which would mean a steady stream of potential funds pouring into a guild. We would also perhaps one day decide to form a branch of the Adventuring Guild here at the college, which your guild would be the premier guild, but that additional clout of a large city branch would be perhaps beneficial. You would also, of course, have my connections within the upper echelon of society. So rather than perhaps saving poor farmers from rampaging trolls, you might perhaps be hired by much higher groups or organizations.
The poor farmers still need assistance, so...
Oh, for sure. Yes, of course. Not to denigrate the poor
Yes.
farmers.
Regardless of whatever we come up with as far as a partnership, I would not want our attention solely focused on the higher members of society. We are still a group of the people.
Of course, yes, but I assume that it might be beneficial to have well-trained members of your guild that could handle other jobs while you're off rescuing the farmers from their troubles and turmoils.
We can balance both.
You are only 4. Are there other members of your guild?
There are.
We have prospects, but not full members, no.
I apologize. Work emergency.
Oh, that's fine.
I know. Joys of being in management. What have we blown up?
Oh,
This lady's being a bitch. She basically has been like, oh, well, you're not formally trained. Also, Roland stole the idea of a guild from me, so she wants us to do shit for her, and she's being
I do believe her
the
about
worst. I 100% believe her about Roland. Yeah, of course, Roland's an idiot, but, like, she sucks.
But he actually went through with it, and we have the charters, and she doesn't. So she
Yes.
can suck it.
yeah.
She's
well,
trying to partner with us.
she she's been training her first batch of graduates for a year, so I think she's been planning this for a time. And Roland just beat her to the punch. So
What benefits would so we have the charter? Are there a limited amount of charter that I don't know why I'm trying to keep. Are there a limited amount of charters that the crown is giving out for an official guild?
Well, yes, as you know, the crown is very picky about who they approve for guild formation. That's why there are so few guilds, which is why there's not a guild for blacksmiths and also coopers and all of the different organizations. They all simply fall under the artisans guild. So forming another adventuring guild would be out of the question at this point. So our best bet would be to form a partnership. Of course, there's nothing stopping us from forming our own business opportunity, to send our own groups out to do the work of organizations and make money in that sense, if this partnership were not to work out. But if
You
there's...
said that
Oh, yes, sorry.
you said that the crown is very particular.
They don't like to see just dozens and dozens of guilds be formed, no, especially since they're placing their stamp of approval on them.
But Roland got one.
Even fools have their day. Part of the reason why I even invited you is that the 4 of you must be quite impressive if you were able to make Roland look like he was worthy of such an honor.
You're making me blush.
We can tell.
Marlo, Kamala, Soris, what do you think? I can see benefits to a partnership such as this.
Yeah, what would a trial run for you look like?
Oh, well, today is actually the final day of training for our premier group. And they will be, there's 2 of them that will be vying for the position, 2 groups that will be vying for the position of first graduates. Perhaps you could be their final challenge?
I'm alright with that.
Sure.
With the added benefit, perhaps that we put a little wager on it.
Oh?
If my group were to be victorious, that you would not lay claim to any jobs, let's say west of Anovir, and you would leave that to my group. But if you were to be victorious,
Okay.
if you were to be victorious, of course, then we would partner with you fully. And I have this, and she holds it out, and she has this stone wrought emblem that's beautifully carved. And she says, I hear that you will be traveling to Eldritch Peak. Your airship would need to dock at the aerodrome. The Drakenglower only allow those that possess one of these to dock there. And this will be yours.
So when and you agree to be a chapter house of the Adventurers Guild, and we get the Dragon
Yes, you get
Fire
the
parking pass.
yes.
And if you win, we just don't
Just
adventure.
hanging.
Pardon?
It's just hanging from the like mirror above the tiller. On the
Wait, what?
It's like right next
Like an
to
air freshener.
right next to the dice. You've got like the little stone emblem. Yes. Yes.
Can we have a little Kaimana figurine with like the little luau and it's like the bobble? Like,
No.
I want Kaimana to be like the figurehead at the front of the ship, like a wood carving of him.
It's not actually carved. It's just Kaimana just chilling there,
you just tie him to the front of the ship, and he's just
like Bill Murray and Funny Farm.
yes,
Or whatever that
Oh,
movie
or
was.
was it? What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds to me that this arrangement is purely beneficial to yourself. If we lose, then you get to lay claim to all of the requests for assistance west of Anavir. If you win, you get to be affiliated with an officially recognized charter that is given permission by the crown to operate.
That is very true, but I do believe in some way that I have the better hand when it comes to connections. I am leaving you with the capital city, and I'm sure there are many problems that you could find in Anovir. Hightower, of course, would be off limits for work for you. But you can disagree with this arrangement, and I can make those things happen anyway. I'm giving you the opportunity, of course.
I am merely pointing out what I observe. No offenses.
Yes.
we would be more than glad to work together should we prove ourselves.
Or you may far exceed the expectations, and it may be us that are proving ourselves to you. I don't know, but that is always a possibility.
So when do you want us to fight your kids?
Well, so the what shall we say, the final bout between the two groups will be happening shortly, and then whichever one of the groups wins would be the one that would challenge you for the graduation right, and for the prize.
Well, I had not planned on doing this. May we perhaps rest a day?
Well, the graduation ceremony would be today, unfortunately. Are there issues with preparedness? I would have assumed that the Adventuring Guild would have been always prepared for any eventuality.
I was prepared for social eventualities.
I may be able to provide you with assistance if it's is it a magical nature problem?
Yes.
Yes, I may be able to provide you with assistance. During our tour, of course, before we watch the final bout, I will have you speak with one of our magical practitioners. They have, we found some various different tools and abilities that have allowed us to more quickly prepare for combat or battle, but only within the grounds of this location.
That would be helpful.
It is very useful for training purposes. It would not... I will allow him to explain it. It's beyond my understanding. And at that point, Volmer goes, well, of course, I have helped develop and design those tools, so I'm happy to explain. I'm excited to watch. I've been at the Adventuring College several days now, and the group that Lady Kellis is putting forward is quite powerful. It'll be interesting to see. I've heard of some of your exploits, and it will be quite a batch.
How many are in the group that we will be facing?
Lady Kellis says, well, it would be unfair if you are outnumbered. We work in groups of 4.
Sounds like
Another opportunity for someone to underestimate us.
Are you often underestimated?
Yes.
That's a good
You
position
may
to
be
be
doing
in.
something right now.
Perhaps. I'm often not wrong, but also while I will say that our students received the highest form of education from some of the greatest trainers, there's nothing quite like real experience, as Marlowe has said.
Mm-hmm.
Volmir at that point says, Lady Kellis, I know you're quite busy and you have to set this up. I'm perfectly happy guiding them on their walk through the area. I would like to get to know them more as well. And Lady Kellis says, of course. I have to set up the final challenge. If that is all right with all of you, Archon Volmir would be happy to guide you around. He's very familiar with the establishment. Oh, yes? Oh, everybody froze.
Would this
Okay.
opportunity with Kellis?
Sorry, I didn't hear you because everybody froze for a second.
Just thank you for the
Oh,
opportunity.
yes. And so she kind of bows and she goes off, and Toby goes off with her, the guy who, like, her right-hand man, and they kind of walk off. And Volmir is standing there for a moment, and was that quite as intense as it felt like it was?
You get used to it.
Yeah, it was dodged.
I do not apologize for Lady Kellis. I would never extend such a bold maneuver. I doubt that she would apologize herself, but you must understand that the Aarakocra of Hightower have always been in a very high position, and do not see the rest of us as quite equal to their might, if as it were.
That'll change one day.
Perhaps. For
Sounds
her...
like that man has plans.
Oh, I know. He's going to take over Hightower. She is not...
He's part of a secret terrorist organization to bring down the air.
She is not intimidated by my presence, and perhaps she should be, but she's not. So, no offense to you, but if she's not intimidated by me, it would take much.
And you have quite an impressive reputation. The youngest to ever gain the title of Archon of Mysteries with the Violet Cloister, correct?
And he kind of humbly nods. Yes. Unfortunately, I would say that it is more nepotism than anything else. My father was the previous Archon of Mysteries, and I was his assistant for most of my training, so it just made sense as the one most aware of the work being done to continue with it. Not to say that I'm not a talented mage by any means, but...
I am sure you are quite capable.
Yes, I am...
From what I hear.
I am aware that... Saurus, I believe that you are from Hightower, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have friends or family in the Boreal Quarter?
I'm with the Monastery of the Four Winds, which is off of the Boreal Quarter.
Yes, currently, the reason that I'm in Hightower is that I'm working with the Violet Cloister very keenly to try to find a cure for the current plague that is facing the Boreal Quarter. That's where I'm putting most of my energies. This is kind of a day away from what has been a very grueling last few weeks.
Yes. We're hoping something can happen so we can visit.
As am I. I hate to see people suffering, and anything that I can do to help alleviate that suffering.
Thank you.
Is it just like a cold, or is it something more severe?
And he kind of looks around to make sure nobody's kind of listening to them, and you see him kind of do a flourish, and he like looks in the air. It's unfortunately it's magical in nature. I'm not sure if it is a wild manifestation of some kind of magic that just came from. We are very close to the Elmerian Cataract, which has its own magical natures as the former home of Suvenarian. So perhaps it is some kind of corruption of that magic, or
Any
it could...
strange flowers springing up by any chance?
Oh no, that's not popping up. It's very pneumatic. It is very much like a cold, but very magical in nature and highly contagious. It's not a disease of the normal sort.
Is it believed that it is spread through airborne?
Yeah. Yes. But it was created, if that makes sense. It's not natural. We're still seeking to understand it, of course.
And it seems to be restricted to the boreal quarters.
Well, thankfully, we were able to catch it quite quickly, and it is very easy to separate the boreal quarter from the rest of Hightower. If you are aware of Hightower politics, boreal is often treated as the outside area anyways, and if they could separate the boreal entirely from the rest of the city, they probably would. So there's a lot of guard in place to separate those two areas.
Do you all think we may be able to help? Kamana and Marlo, I know you all have backgrounds with alchemical knowledge, so
I may be able to do something.
I greatly appreciate the offer. Again, this is going to come across as very arrogant, and I apologize, but we do have the best of the Violet Cloister working on the issue. What may be useful is, once it is under control, having a group to go in to help administer any kind of vaccination might be useful, especially if they're familiar with the area.
I'm really good with blood, so.
I'm and he's not fazed by your statement at all, and he just kind of, I'm quite aware.
Insight check. What does he know about me?
Go ahead.
Don't trust this guy for shit. Fuck, so good. That's dirty 20.
Ooh, he is very. You can tell that he knows exactly who you are.
Aww.
You also get the sense from him that he's being very forthright and very he doesn't seem like he's hiding anything from you.
Okay. I hate when people know about me. This is terrible.
You know enough about his background or his role that the Archon of Mystery's job is to know a lot of stuff that most people don't know about.
Gross.
But we've been standing here for a moment. Let me walk you around, and so he starts kind of walking, and you're of course free to continue asking him questions or talk to him as he kind of guides you through the adventuring college.
What do you know about this?
Oh,
go ahead, Sordus, please.
Do you know anything about the two sets of finalists that are currently competing?
Oh, yes, I do. They're very different teams. One is more martial based, I think they have an archer and somebody who kind of fights up close. They do have one druid figure, I believe. The other that is probably the favorite to win has a couple magical users, as well as a very powerful rogue and a fighter. This, and he kind of, as you guys are walking down, like, so he's guided you down some steps, and you're now on the second floor, and you're kind of walking by what seem to be classrooms, and he says, you know, like, this is where they're training people on how to open doors and you know, locked things, and you can see people kind of manipulating lockpicks and elements in that room. And then as you keep walking, he says, here they're training people about the various types of skills that you can use when you are, you know, traversing a difficult terrain or trying to climb something. And you can kind of see, like, they've got like this gymnasium type structure, and you see people like climbing a wall or jumping from post to post very carefully through the room. And then you come across to another classroom, and he says, and here this is where they're training on resistances and vulnerabilities of different beasts or fiends and of that nature. And you can see a professor kind of giving a talk at the front of the classroom to a group of students sitting there. And Lord of mercy, Sully. Lord. She's gone crazy now. You gave her the kneecaps, and now she's insane. And so, like, and they're kind of up there, and Volmir kind of is looking in that room, and he goes, actually, one of the members of the favored team is in this class right now. You see him pointing towards there's at the very front of the classroom, you see, pull up her information so I know what she's looking at. You see a full, like, elven male, dark skin, silvery hair, and she's wearing kind of violet colored robes. And she is, at this moment, she seems to actually be arguing with the professor on some mote of information. And he says, she is probably the one to look out for on that team as far as danger is concerned. And she's one of my former students, actually.
School of Magic does she study?
She is an evocation practitioner.
Figures.
Don't know what that means.
Abel would know. That's like the.
Abel would know. Ronnie
That's like
Fireball.
the fireballs, lightning bolts, like very like destructive summoning of elemental forces type thing. Yeah.
Oh. Cool.
And what you hear her arguing with the professor, because the professor is talking about some kind of troll creature, and she's saying, you know, talking about the necessary of using fire to destroy the body in order to prevent the troll regeneration, and he's implying that you only have to burn it once, and she says no, you have to burn the whole body, and he seems to be challenging her, but she's not stepping down from that.
We have fought a troll.
Yeah, you do have to burn the whole, but she is right.
And
She is correct.
you see her turn. I don't know who those people are, but they seem to agree with me. And the professor says, and who are you?
The Adventurers Guild.
We fought a troll.
Yeah, we fought a troll like 2 days ago.
And now, like, everybody, like, is turning to, like, look in your direction. And the professor says, you fought a troll and survived?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in your experience, then, all you have to do is burn a troll, correct?
No.
No.
And Samir is like, I told you. You have to destroy the body. A troll can regrow from almost any element of it that is left over.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And Samira's kind of like looks in your direction, and she says, "Well, thank you. Not everything can be learned in books, apparently." And the professor says, "Well, let's move on to fiends then. What do we know about fiends?" And he's purposefully kind of ignoring her, and he kind of calls on somebody else, and they're like, they don't like fire." And Samira goes, "Wrong." And he's like, "Well, what's..."
seats at the back?
There are seats in the back, yeah, if you want to.
Yes, I'm gonna go sit down.
Okay. And so they're there, and she kind of turns to you and she says, "As the Adventuring Guild, of course, you would know. What fiends are immune to what now?"
Fire.
Yes, they are immune to fire. What else?
Can me, Grace doesn't know, but like my whole thing is like hunting fiends. Can I just like say Mar knows or like roll for it?
Mar would know this, yeah. So,
Okay.
So you know that they're also immune to poison.
Yeah, poison, obviously.
Oh, yes, that is quite accurate. Anybody else in the Adventuring Guild know the resistances of fiends?
We've not fought one yet,
Unfortunate.
but we will be.
Quite useful knowledge, especially with the Veil incursions happening all around. But knew far more than I expected. She kind of gives you a little nod. And at this point, the professor is just like, "All right, we will end class early so that everybody can go off to watch the graduation ceremony." And Samira, I believe you have to get ready for it anyway. And she kind of bows, and then she walks off very confidently in the other direction, away. And Volmir says, "She's been like that for quite a while. She does tend to be older than everybody else around her, as being an elf."
So with age comes wisdom, I see.
Knowledge is never wasted.
One would hope that she would gain some wisdom. I don't think she's quite got there yet, but she's definitely got the knowledge.
You're very wise, Saurus.
Who's that
You're
others
two.
in this school?
Pardon?
Others?
You're very wise, Saurus, and you're two.
I have a lot still to learn.
Volmir,
See?
I'm sorry, did he say that you were two?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I assumed that you were, like a were-rat? Are you not?
No. No, I was a regular rat. I was experimented on. It was very unpleasant.
Within, I mean, that would be illegal, within Alyria.
Within Hightower. It's a long story. No time for that now.
I would be interested in hearing about it. Was this a magical practice?
Oh, yes. And machinery.
Well,
I didn't mean to drag you into this, Saurus. I'm so sorry.
as
It's okay. It's okay, brother.
as an Archon, I would be very interested in hearing about that. That seems very that's a problem. It sounds like that we might need to address.
I'm working on it.
Well, perhaps we can provide assistance in that. And he as he kind of guides you out of the classroom as people are leaving, and he's kind of walking around, and eventually you guys end up back towards. He walks past several classrooms where people are being trained in various different things. Like there's a place where they're brewing potions or working with herbs. Like there's a thing where they're working on like how to repair armor and like all the kind of things that you would think that an adventurer might need to know.
I want to ask Mr. Volmir, if we win this little test that Lady Khaleesi's set up and we do partner with the Adventuring College, I wonder if the partnership would extend to the Violet Cloister and its other locations.
We are not directly connected in any way other than that we provide instruction. As this is kind of graduate level work, as it were, for former members of the Violet Cloister who do not want to, as Samira, who do not want to live their life out in a library or in research, that this gives them an opportunity to use their skills outside of research side of things. And so we provide trainers, but we are not directly connected with the Adventuring College. It's a very lucrative arrangement for us.
I'm just curious that perhaps if you would give it more thought, if you were open to it, it would be beneficial to have a group of adventurers that you could glean information from as the Archon of Mysteries. If we're out in the world, we could partner with helping uncover some of the magical mysteries that we come across.
Well, not to say that I would not be very interested in hiring you for your services at some points, especially to handle things like magical misuse, as it were, as Source has mentioned.
Well, just an idea, just a thought.
She's crazy behind me. Okay. Yes, so he kind of guides you, and you guys wind up back up on the kind of the third floor, and you see now that it seems like most of the college is there, and you see individuals that are.
Did we ever end up at the place where Kaimana could respell?
Oh, right. Sorry. So you at that point, so in the room where the trainer was, who was talking about resistances,
Let's see if I can do as well.
at that Volmir does at that point. He says, "So you are all going to be taking part in the training exercise. Is that correct?"
Yes.
And so he kind of goes back to a thing, and he says, "This is an element of my own design. You will need to wear these necklaces." And he holds up this kind of thick bangled necklace with a large ruby that sits at the center, and you would need to wear these. They would allow you to access your spells and kind of redo your spell modifications for the day, but what this allows is for you to be in a combat scenario without the risk of death. The ruby itself actually absorbs the incoming damage, and you will experience like if you were to actually go unconscious, the ruby would make you go unconscious, but it would prevent you from actually dying, but you would not actually be injured in the process. It is a way for us to train without putting our students at risk.
Very wise.
And so he hands them over to you, and he says, so all you have to do, once you put it on, it will give you the opportunity to rethink your spell choices for the day. Kaimana, you can do that, but each of you would need to wear one for the battle so that you are not potentially killed, as it were. And so he
That would
hands...
be bad.
If I were to die in this combat, I would deserve to stay dead.
So he hands each of you one of the necklaces. And so Kaimana, that you can hit long rest again, and that'll let you re-choose your spells.
Can I do the same? Like, could I get like a different infusion? So I made the perfume of bewitching.
Yeah, it would let you redo it. Like, kind of like they use this as a way to kind of like reset combat, so that if you're training in the morning and then you have a training exercise in the afternoon, that you can still do it. What it doesn't necessarily like, it's all illusionary in the sense that like it's not actually changing anything for you, but it's allowing you to have access to these elements.
We're gonna put on a light show. We're wearing VR.
Kind of.
No.
We didn't have this at my training. Back in my day, if we died, we died.
Your training, they just had a cleric standing by like, oh god. Like,
No. Reattach the arm.
yep.
Training they didn't even have to.
Well, this is what happens when you have money behind you. So he guides you guys back up, and you're now like, you see like most of the college seems to be around the three balconies, the one at the ground level, second level, and the third level, and you're looking out now at like the central the structure, and it's fairly large, this structure, and there's wooden gangplanks that stretch across it. There's this river running through, and since you've been there they've set out like large tree logs and things that could be used as potential like cover zones in the event of a battle. And at that point, you see Lady Kellis fly down to in the center of the space, and she's kind of just hovering there with her wings outstretched behind her, kind of flying. And she says, "Thank you all for joining us for the final graduation ceremony. We have our two groups," and she kind of references, and you see two from either side of the area down at the bottom. You see 4 individuals come out on one side and 4 individuals come out on the other. And she says, and their final test to see which will be moving on to graduation. Go ahead and take your spaces. They've already chosen their sides, and you see them, a group start, like a couple are climbing up some of the ladders, and they're getting up on platforms, and they're positioning themselves, while the other group is down in the sandy pit, and they're running around to like hide behind tree branches and things, or tree logs and things. And then she kind of waves, and she says, "Volmir, will you do the honors, please?" And Volmir at the front says, "Okay," and he lifts out a hand, and he kind of releases, and you see this like ball of energy fly up into the air and then explode in this firework sound. And Lady Kellis rises up, and she's floating higher up above the zone. But then you see the two groups like go into combat, and there's arrows flying from one person as somebody's like dodging out of the way, and then the fighter is like leaps up onto the like a platform and is challenging what looks like maybe a cleric type figure who summons up this column of fire that blasts down on them, and there's lights and fire, and everybody's challenging each other from all the sides. And after a moment, you notice that like somebody at the back like launches a projectile in the direction of somebody, and when it hits, you see all the energy just kind of absorb into their crystal at their neck, and they react like they've been hit, like it obviously kind of caused some kind of jolt or pain to them in some way, but the actual magical energy did not impact them. But over time, you see the drow female that you saw at the class, you see her throw out her hand, and this kind of bead of light shoots across the space and then explodes where 2 of the members of the opposite team were, and this fireball expands, and you see the energy of the fireball kind of suck into both of their necklaces, and when it clears, one of them is unconscious on the ground. And over time, you see this little kinku that is hiding in spaces around the area. He jumps up behind one of the members, and you see him pull out this little short bow, and he fires 2 shots right into their back. But as soon as the arrow seems to like hit at nothing, like there's like a space between them and their body, and then the arrow falls off, but the person collapses to the ground. And then they turn and fire off again at the person next to them, and that person collapses until there's only just this Goliath fighter and then this other fighter there squaring off against each other. And the Goliath has this giant axe, and he's about to come down on the other fighter, who holds up a shield to block it. And then he flips backwards, and these wings sprout from his back, and he takes off into the air, and then dives down at the Goliath and stabs right towards his chest. But the sword doesn't penetrate, but it hits whatever that shield is. But the connection kind of goes through, and he passes by, and the Goliath kind of stammers for a second, and then falls to the ground. And then the 4 members of the winning team stand there as cheers erupt from everybody, and Volmir kind of goes over and says, "As I said, they were the clear favorites." And they're kind of taking bows, and you can clearly see this group now. You've got the drow figure Samira that you saw earlier, who was casting the spells. You see a small little kinku figure who had the short bow, and then there is a blue-skinned, blue-haired Kaimana. You would immediately recognize this as a Triton. There's a Triton female who has a shield and a mace, and she was casting some magic during the fight, and you get the sense that maybe she's not a mage, but maybe a cleric or something like that. And then the Asamar figure, whose wings sprouted out, was the fighter who's standing there very proudly with his shield and sword. And Lady Kellis kind of drips down, and she says, "Well, I'm not sure it was quite a surprise. Everyone knows that Samira has put together the best team. And you see immediately like this light flash on the 4 who are unconscious, and they all wake up. And like you see one of them kind of get up and like shoot Samira this really dagger look, and she stomps off, while the other 3 go up and congratulate the 4 victors. But the one was a half-elven female. She stomped off and left before she could congratulate the winners.
He's so winner.
Reminds me of someone.
Volmir kind of leans over and says, that's Drya. She was initially on Samira's team, but Samira replaced her with Thomas, the Asamar, when he joined the school about 6 months ago.
Oof.
Yeah,
Why did you swap them out? Do you know?
Drya is a fighter. She's very good at what she does, but the Asamar has some abilities natural to his nature that make him a little bit more dangerous in a fighting scenario, and Samira wanted the winning team. And Lady Kellis kind of descends and she says, well, we know who our winners are, but we have a special treat for all of you. As a final challenge before their graduation, the 4 on Samira's winning team, before they are given their full rights as Adventuring College graduates, will face off against the recently christened Adventuring Guild from Broadfield. And you see a couple people like, oh, like you see some audience members understand what she's talking about, but you also see others kind of like looking around like, what is she like, what's the Adventuring Guild like? So there's kind of a, like, you guys are used to in Broadfield like everybody knowing who you are, and here like it's like some people are aware of your presence. And she says, so we're going to allow Samira's team a brief rest before the competition begins, but stick around for that. And she kind of flies over to where you all are, and she sits down next to you, and she says, quite an impressive show, wasn't it?
Adequate.
Adequate, yes. They would probably need about 10 minutes to reset, but then they will be ready for you if you are ready for that.
Absolutely.
We've been ready.
Well,
Oh, yes.
whether or not they're ready for us is something that is yet to be seen.
I find your confidence quite refreshing. As the Adventuring College representative, I will go ahead and do the choosing of sides. Marlo, I believe... Alora told me that you were the leader of the group.
Correct.
So, and you see her pull out a platinum coin out of a pouch next at her side, and she says, to choose sides of the battlefield, we will call heads or tails in the air. So, as the visiting team, will allow you to make the call, and so in the air, call heads or tails. And so she flips the coin.
Great. Kaimana, call heads or tails.
I was going to actually try to snatch the coin the moment she tosses it up in the air.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Six.
So she flips it, and like you guys see Kaimana like jump up to grab it, and it's like she's a tall lady, and so you just kind of like whoop as the coin flies through the air, and then she catches it and she says, "Not quite fast enough." She flips it over. She flips it over into her hand.
Let's call it heads or tails.
Heads, and she kind of reveals, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, tails. So we will choose home court advantage." And she kind of points and she says, the team beginning on the platforms will be the Adventuring College team, and you all will have the ground. And you realize like that was the exact setup that Samira's team had the last time. They had the high ground, and the other team had the low ground.
I have the high ground.
I've seen this movie.
All right. So let me go ahead and let me show you the map really quick, and then you can and like you guys will have some time to kind of position yourself where you would like before the actual battle begins. Let me switch over to the battle map.
God, what if I just werewolfed out on these kids?
No, I was. Soros is going to say to you.
I really shouldn't. Like, I really shouldn't, but I think it'd be so funny.
Well,
If it gets interesting.
She says they're ready. Let's test it.
They all know. Like, you get the sense that like she knows who you are.
Yeah. But I don't know if the kids know, and
Yeah,
I
the
think it'd just be a
students
really good, just a good joke for me.
Yeah. If it gets interesting, you should.
Not immediately, but just pull it out at some point.
All right. So you guys are kind of relegated to this side here, and what you kind of see, these platforms are all about 6 feet off the ground. There's one platform that goes up to 10 feet. But then you see that they've also placed like ladders and things around the space that you could potentially like move to get up onto those platforms. So they've given the ground team a way to assault the encampment of the platform team. So you've got, these are large logs, and then this one's like a massive log here. So if you're thinking about cover, like this will provide half cover, the massive log would provide full cover.
I want to be as close as I can to the enemy.
Okay,
Yes.
do you want to like the center enemy or the side and attack from this way?
Where did Samara?
First log right there.
So I'll show you like when they set up, when they picked their spaces, Samira took the super high ground. The cleric was back here, the Asamar was here, and the Kinku was actually down on the ground, but was using the posts and things to hide from the opposing team, so that they could get off those opportunity shots. You don't know if this is how they'll be set up on the last time, but this is how they set up before the last match.
I would like to be near the center thing, so hopefully I can take on the fighter.
Okay. Do you
Put
want to
me on the.
You guys want to be hidden at the start, so like have some of that partial cover at the start?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I want to be the northernmost log, the one that's up by. Yeah.
Okay. Kamana?
I would like to be near that center log.
This one here?
Yes.
Okay. Abel?
I think I want to stay back in full cover because I'm squishy bit.
All right. Do you want to be on the southern side or the northern
Yeah,
side?
leave me right there on that corner there.
Okay. All right. And as you're surveying the space, like you've got like a ramp on wheels that you can very easily wheel over here to get up. Soros, you're looking at this height and you're thinking that it's a leap, but it wouldn't necessarily be too hard for you to get from the ground to there. And then they place like a ramp that you can move to get up to the 10 space, or you could attempt to jump. So they kind of set it up as a way. It's like an assault scenario where you guys are assaulting a base.
Yeah, that's not going to slow me down.
No, like that seems pretty clear for you. All right. So what we'll do is we'll take 10 before the fight, so that you guys can look over. You can look over your battle stuff. You can look over whatever. You can prepare however you want. You guys can talk during the 10 to come up with strategy if you'd like. But you've got that time to plan while they're in their rest mode and getting ready for challenging the Adventuring Guild. So we'll be right back. You're all kind of set up, and Samira is kind of, you see her kind of, she's talking, but you can't hear what she's saying, although Marlo, with your heightened senses, roll with disadvantage on perception to see if you can hear what she's saying.
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Okay, yeah. So you
I'm
can.
gonna. This dice is gonna go. Away
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah,
true.
you can.
This dice has not done me well.
You can see that she's talking, but you can't really tell what she's talking. And she seems to be talking into this like copper wire that's in her hand. And
Well, that's good.
so
I
like
don't care.
each of her members, and so like there's a moment when she says something, and the ASMR kind of shifts his space a little bit, and he comes up here, and the cleric kind of moves to match a little bit, but they are kind of just adjusting their space. All right. And so then you see above you, Lady Kellis kind of flies down with her wings outstretched, and she says, "So, as a final treat, we have the Adventuring College facing off against the new Adventurers Guild. Our Samira's team has already solidified their space as a graduates of the college, but this is for the big time. Master Voldemir, if you'll do the honors again," and you see her fly up, and then you see that explode, like light shoot up into the air above you, and there's just this poof, explosion and this rain of light that flies down. Saurus, you're up first.
Okay. I'm going to spend a key point to bonus dash,
Okay.
which gives me 90 movement, which will get me over to Samira.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. Yep, you can get to her.
That is crazy.
Okay. I am going to attack her twice.
Okay.
First one is an 18. The second one is a 22.
Okay, for the first attack, you kind of shoot out, and you see her kind of make this flourish movement, and your fist impacts a shield, but the second one cuts through, and you feel like you're punching a person, but you definitely notice that your fist stops just like an inch or two outside of her body, and you're hitting that kind of force field, but that does make contact, and she kind of jolts back from the attack. So go ahead and roll damage on the second hit.
Okay. I am also going to spend one of the charges on the Gauntlet of Storm to throw lightning into this.
Okay.
And it is a stunning strike.
All right, and that's a Constitution saving throw?
Yep.
All right. 16 on the save.
Yes, that saves.
Okay. But she does take the damage, yeah.
7 plus 5. That's 12.
Okay, 12 points of damage. All right, nice. So you go to hit her the first time and you bounce off of her shield, but then your second one makes contact and this lightning kind of shoots up into her, and you see the lightning absorbed into the crystal at the center of her chest, but she does look like she's like shocked by the hit.
And that draws, and I rolled a 10, so that particular gauntlet lost power.
Oh no, okay, so you lost one is out now, so there you go.
Yep, so I have... So I'm just going to drop that to 0 charges.
But you guys do have 2 crystals waiting for you somewhere, so you can get replacements on that, so it's good. All right, anything else you want to do there with your first turn, Saurus?
I am going to counter around her.
Okay.
So that she's on the other side, so that cleric boy can't get flanking on me.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Marlo.
Cool. Can I just tap over this little log right here and get up to that center platform?
25. Make a athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay.
It's a 5-foot clear here.
Natural 20.
Okay, yep, so you get up.
We'll
So that's
get
5, 10,
flex.
15, 20, 20. That's 25, 30. Where do you want to go from there?
They're gonna go flank me either way, so let's beat up this fighter boy.
All right, so you can get up to him.
Great.
We'll say
In his-
you're on him there.
Okay. In his face, I want to wolf out.
All right, I'm gonna set him here, but he's up on the bridge just because he's not.
Yeah, so this is the equivalent of of me just cracking my knuckles and then go into it.
All right. So you transform. Your half transformation, and for a moment he's looking at you, and then like this wolven feature comes out, and your claws grow, and he like jumps back for a second, but then he recomposes himself.
I just wink at him, and I'm gonna do some strikes.
All right, go ahead and make your 2 attacks.
All right. The first one is a 21 to hit,
21 does hit, yes.
and the next one is higher.
Yeah, so they both hit.
Natural 17. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So the first one is going to be with the rapier of wounding, and that's going to be that, and with the lightning. So that is. Do I need to tell you what amount is lightning damage on this guy?
No, you can add it all up for him.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, so that's going to be 10 points of damage
Okay.
on that first one, and then second one just regular attack. 12 points of damage.
All right, good. So you slash out with the first one. The lightning crackles along and then is sucked up into the gym, and then the second attack crashes through, and he reacts for both of them, and he's trying to block with his shield, but he doesn't get the shield in place on either space. Nice, very good. Anything else you want to do there with your turn, Mar?
That is all I can do.
All right, so that takes us to the Kinku.
Actually,
oh, go ahead.
Can I counter around him to try to sneak away from the cleric?
So
Can I like get on that little bench, or is he blocking me?
so he's technically here. So the best bet that you could do is put your back here, so that because you only had 5 more feet of movement. So
Perfectly fine. I just don't want the cleric to get behind me.
okay, so we'll say that like so she would have to jump down to get behind you to get flanking. Good.
Yeah. So I just on the like right after the second hit, I'm just gonna swing around him.
Okay. All right. So the next thing, Marlo, go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage, just because you are.
21.
Okay. All right. So you've got. Does a 17 hit you?
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
you're good.
Rob, we can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
There you go. I should be able to hear you now.
All right, good. Does a 19 hit?
19 just hits.
Okay, good. So, so you see like, you hear like a, like right by your ear, and you're like, what the fuck? And then like you feel something like hit your back, as an arrow collides into your back from our little friend the Kinku. Let me see what his.
It's definitely a rogue.
Yeah. He's
Do
a
I?
rogue.
Yeah.
Do I see where he's shooting from?
From your go ahead and roll a perception check, but it's with disadvantage just from where he is.
Do I get a
No,
where he
natural
is?
1.
I mean, or is all I know he's hitting from behind me?
He's hitting you from behind. He rolled higher on his stealth. So
Would Kaimana possibly be able to see him?
Kaimana, you get a clear shot. He's right here underneath this, next to that post. But Kaimana, you can see him clearly through there. But Mar, that is 15 points of piercing damage from the sneak attack shot from.
And it's halved.
Oh, it is halved, so 7.
7.
Good. And then he's gonna bonus action dash this way. All right. So you see this little and then Mar, you gotta turn your head just to see this little cloaked black Kiku figure jump over to the end of that pathway over there. All right, good. Which takes us to Samira. So first thing she's gonna do. Let's see. What does she have? With you right in her face. Okay, she's going to. You see her like vanish from your view for a second, and then she appears up here. Misty step. This is a 20-foot tall wall there, and she's up at the top. And then you see she takes out this kind of wand, and with her bonus action, she's going to point in your direction, Mar, and you just see like two beams of energy shoot out, and they both impact you. It's just a wand of magic missiles, so it's not going to be a lot. So that's one. 4 points of damage from the wand of magic missiles from Samira, but she had to get away from Saurus, so she couldn't do anything big. All right, good. Which takes us to our fighter friend. So he's going to Mar. You see like these wings flap out from his back. And then he's going to fly behind you. He stays within 5 feet of you the whole time. And so he's flying right here behind you. And he's going to make 2 attacks with his longsword in your direction. Let me pull up Thomas's sheet. So the first one, well, that's not going to hit. That's a 15. Second one is an 18. Nope. So he goes to... And they both just kind of like you kind of parry them off with both of your rapiers as he's trying to hit out at you. And he does not have... He doesn't have any bonus actions. All right, cool. All right, so he's now there, kind of floating or flying behind you, with his like these glowing wings flashing from his back. All right, and then because we had 2 really low rolls from you guys on initiative, the cleric is going to run up here. She's going to jump from, so she can kind of get past you, Mar. Yeah, the 19 on her athletics check. She's going to jump up here. And then she's going to pop up to this space. And then you see her like point up into the sky. And this cloud begins to form right here. Like this swirling mass up above you guys. And then she's going to kind of point in your direction, Saurus. And this lightning bolt is going to crash down to where you are. So go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity 21.
21, yes, you'll take half damage. 3d10.
Ouch.
Yeah. 17 halved, so 8 points of lightning damage, Saurus, as this cracks down, and you see some of the boards splinter at your feet there. But she now has the cloud up above her. All right, and that ends her turn, which takes us to Kamana.
I am going to cast Heat Metal
Okay.
on the fighter's armor.
Okay, and that's a what kind of saving throw?
1 moment. I don't know if you get a save, actually. Constitution saving throw, or drop the object if you can.
But you can't. That's not
He
going
then has to try and get out of it.
I think if he can't get out of it, it just does damage each round.
If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of next turn.
Nice, there you go.
That's fun.
So he can't get out of the armor. He because that would take minutes. Which even if he was trying to get out of it, he wouldn't be able to in that time. He failed to save. So go ahead and roll damage on the heat metal.
Does heat metal last?
Yes.
It's concentration, yeah.
Oh, that's a sweet spell.
10 damage.
10 points of damage. Nice. And so you guys watch as this, like, as the armor starts glowing, and like he's like the. For those of you who've been hit by things, like you can feel like the attack hitting you, and it's not quite as powerful as like if you were really being hit by a lightning bolt or whatever, but you can definitely feel some pain from it. So he's like trying to like kind of shimmy away from it, but he can't do anything. So there you go. And he has disadvantage on his attacks until the beginning of your next turn. Awesome.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. Anything you want to move or do anything else, Kaimana?
No, I'm good for now.
All right. Sounds good. Abel.
Okay, can Abel shoot over that huge log?
No. So this log is probably
Around it.
taller than you, so you would have to, because it gives you completely full cover, so you'd have to come over to the side.
You
Okay,
can step out and step back.
Yeah.
so I want to right where I am. I'm going to aim a hex at the cleric.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Hold on, hex is
What does
90.
hex do?
Okay. Hex is just like an extra D8 of damage, but they also get disadvantage on a certain ability check. So I'm gonna say.
Ooh,
Any feedback? Any suggestion?
hit Sora with it and Constitution saves.
It's not a saves, it's just a
Oh.
check. So like
Ability.
Oh, never mind.
if you were trying to
Yeah.
grapple them, like a strength check, for instance, might help. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going after the cleric because she's got that big thunderstorm thing
Yep.
up.
I like that plan.
I'm going to hex the cleric, and I'm going to say strength because I think I have something that does a strength check.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit her with an Eldritch Blast.
All right. Go ahead and roll for your attack.
And is it 2 blasts at 5th level?
Yes.
2 beams? Yeah. Um, 18 plus 5, a 23 for the first one.
That hits.
And natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Second on the hit. So, how do I do? Did it double it?
It usually doubles it automatically.
But it didn't.
I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe it did. I don't know.
It usually rolls 2 dice.
It usually rolls 2.
Because it's a D10 or
Okay,
whatever.
so the critical hit is 14 damage.
Okay.
And then. Oh, the first one is just 2 damage.
Okay. All right.
And
she makes her Constitution saving throw. Okay.
oh crap! And she's pushed back. Does she know? Is that another thing? Eldritch Blast.
No, I think that's only if you have the Eldritch Invocation as a
Yeah.
warlock. Yeah.
I think I was thinking about my Force Ballista. Okay. And I'm gonna go back behind the little.
All right. Boop. Okay. You're there.
Wait, and she gets a D8 of necrotic damage. I
Okay.
forgot.
Go ahead and roll that.
Sorry. I'm still learning the D&D, guys. That is 6 necrotic damage.
All right. Nice. So the 2 blasts kind of fire out from Abel, impacting this the cleric figure, and then you dodge back behind your kind of safe space there. All right, Saurus, your prey is kind of jumped out of the way here for you.
Okay, do I have enough movement to run, jump 10 feet, climb to the top, and get to her with my normal movement?
You would, but you'd need to make an athletics check just to make sure you can do the climb during
Let's do
that
that.
movement. Okay, go ahead.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Sorry, for you, acrobatics, yeah.
19.
Yep, you're good. So you can get up to her. You guys see Saurus, like, jump off this post and then hit the wall and just, like, click, click, boof, up to the top. And now you're up there with her. You're not falling. You're there?
Pistol.
Okay.
Lead.
No, I'm going to save that. I'm going to hit her twice.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
And for bonus action, I'm going to Flurry of Blows. So
Uh-oh.
the first 2 attacks are 11, which I assume is a miss,
That's a miss.
and then the other one is a 23.
That one will hit, yeah.
And I am using the gauntlet.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
Okay, and then I Flurry of Blows.
All right,
And
go
let
ahead.
me
Your 2
check
hits
off
there.
my sheet so I can track my charges and my key. All right. 14 is one of them.
That misses.
The second one is a nat 17 plus 8.
That'll
That's
hit. Yeah.
25.
Yep, that one hits.
And so that one will do also with a charge from the glove. So that one will do 14. And since I did Flurry of Blows the way of the open hand, she must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed back 15 feet.
Okay.
Or she will then take falling damage.
Right, she
Yeah.
will. What's the saving throw DC?
12.
12. She rolled an 11 with a +0 to her saving throw. So she falls back,
Yay.
and it's 20 feet.
No, sorry.
So it's
20 feet, that's 2d6.
yeah, 2d6. So let me okay, so she takes additional 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Just picture a hit, kick.
Jesus. So she that's there.
Sparta!
Yeah, it's so Soris, you're up here where you've kicked her off, and she lands and the air knocked out of her, and you can see her just like furious face there on the ground. All right, anything else?
How damaged does she look?
Well, so it's difficult to tell because you're used to seeing like blood and physical damage, but she definitely looks like she's like holding herself in a way like she's breathing really heavily. She looks like she's taken a beating. So she definitely looks like she's kind of like fighting to like maintain her consciousness.
And DM, I misspoke earlier. It was a D6 of necrotic damage, not a D8. But I rolled a D6 again, and I still got 6 damage.
That's fine. Yep.
I just wanted to verify.
All right, Source. Anything else? That
Do I have any movement left?
I mean, technically yes, but jumping off that would take the rest of your movement.
I'm going to jump off.
Okay. Do you want to
slow fall? So I'm going
right.
to use my reaction to reduce falling damage.
Okay. Do you want to jump over here?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
But as close to her as I can get.
Yeah, you can get to her right there. All right. Good. All right. Good.
This is fun.
She was so cocky. Marlo, go. You're up next.
I don't know where this rogue is. Do I?
Yeah, you could, like, now you watched him run, and he wasn't able to quite make it behind that post to get hidden. So he's kind of right out there in the open right now.
Oh, excellent. Blood curse with a binding on his ass.
What is that saving throw?
A strength saving throw.
He's so good at those. But he did roll a natural 20, so...
No! Son of a bitch! Oh my god, that would have reduced his speed. It's fine.
And he is quick, so yeah.
Can I jump on top of the flying dude? I just gotta tackle him here.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. We'll treat it like a grapple check, yeah.
Can I still hit him after that, like with my claw, maybe?
So your first attack would be to jump on him, and then like punch him in the face while you're holding on to him, if you are able to make that, yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a grapple check against his...
I get advantage on this because I'm a werewolf out.
You don't need to worry about it because he rolled a natural 1. So like the dice,
you love to see
the
it.
dice giveth and they taketh away. So
I like the humiliation tactic of this fight. That we all seem to be going for.
All right, so you jump up on him, like grab a hold of him, and his wings are like fighting to maintain the air, but they do. And then he's like, "Get off me!" And then you just are gonna slap out at him with your claws. So go ahead.
So what I do is I just kind of throw the second one of the rapiers up in the air, catch both, have two in one hand, and then just like slash at him with the claw.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and make your attack with the claw.
The flurry, too, man.
Do I get 2 attacks with the claw?
So the first attack was to grapple him. So
Okay.
the second attack would you just get 1.
Okay, and no bonus attack.
Oh no, you get your bonus attack. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Okay, that definitely hits.
And then a 24.
24.
Sorry, 26.
They both hit. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. With the claw, that's a 1d8, right?
It's a d6, so it hasn't leveled up yet,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I'm just doing this for the fun of it. It's less damage, but it's... Okay, so this is...
That's a fault of the matter.
2d6. So that is 12 on the first hit.
Okay.
And then 11 on the second.
All right. And he's like struggling to keep the air, but because like the weight of both of you there, and you can see him sweating in front of you.
I
just
just imagine that I'm like, I have my like legs straddled around his stomach, and I'm just like hitting him in the face.
Yes. All right. That takes us to.
Does Mar take any damage from the heat metal?
That is a fair point. Go ahead and roll it's a Constitution saving throw, Mar.
I have so
Sorry,
many
Mark.
layers on.
Same team, Rob.
I know, but it's...
No, I rolled it.
Yeah, we had to be fair. Gotta be fair.
What'd you roll?
Natural. I dirty 20.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. So you are able to hold on to him in such a way that you're not touching his breastplate, so that you're not getting the burn.
Yeah, I don't want to be all up on this suit. Like, I think I'm using like the leg strength I've gained as a werewolf to just kind of like hold back and just, like, hit him.
It's like you're standing on his thighs with one arm around his neck.
Yep.
Bitch slap.
Yeah. That's what's happening right now.
All right, good. Which takes us to the Kinku. So seeing that he's gonna run this way, Marlo, I need you to roll a perception check with advantage because he is gonna try to stealth.
18.
18. Oh god, he's rolling so well. Let me see what his thing is.
I like this little dude. I'm glad he's doing well.
Yeah,
He's
no.
gonna be
So,
the last one left.
Yeah.
so once again, Mark, like you see him run, and you're like, I totally have eyes on him. But there's a moment where like the wing, like flaps down and covers your vision for a second, and when the wing flies back, you're like, oh shit, I don't know where he is. And then, and that's a 21 to hit on the first shot, and then that's a 18 to hit on the second shot.
Does not hit.
The 18 doesn't, but the first one gets sneak attack.
Yeah, when I werewolf out, my armor class goes up to a 19.
Oh, that's right. That's 5, 10.
You gave me that armor.
It's 23 points of piercing damage, but reduced to half, so that's 10 points of 11 points of piercing damage. And so as the bolt strikes you, and then he's actually going to dash this way and disappear over behind this post here. Because he has a crap ton of movement speed as well, so he's able to do that.
I wish that Blood Curse had worked on him. That would have been tight.
All right, which
tight.
takes us to Samira, who is going to stand up here.
Does she really want to do that?
Well, she can stand up.
Yep.
Now the choice is she going to try to fight you, or is she going to try to get away from you? If she's looking at you, she doesn't see that you're kind of hurt at all, but she also doesn't know how powerful you are. Let's see. Yeah, so she's going to, you see her just kind of like look at you, and she takes her hand and like flips it up into the air, and you see this like orb of energy fly up into the air right in front of your face. And you see it slowly begin to expand and then explode into a fireball that engulfs this whole area. But you watch as she has her hand held up, the energy flies around her hand and seems to dissipate around her. She's shaping the spell around her, so it doesn't actually hit her. So go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw on the fireball.
7 plus that's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, so that's you make it, not by much, but you do make it. But that's 8d6. She has a really high spell DC.
Jeez.
So
Do you
5.
take damage?
Is it half
Yeah,
damage?
take half damage.
Half damage.
Do you not have that skill yet for monk?
He doesn't have evasion yet, I don't think.
No, I think that's higher level.
So that's 5, 10, 15, 16, 15, 20, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 points of fire damage halved to 16. Yeah, 16.
That's good.
There was a lot of 5s in that roll. So 30. So halved to 16. So you take 16 points of fire damage from the explosion, and then she just kind of looks at you and she says, "Well, I guess if we're going down, we're going to go down fighting, right?" And she kind of readies herself there to face off against you as best she can. At the same moment that Thomas, he is going to try to shake you off of him, Marlowe.
Okay.
He's going to fly up as best he can, about 10 feet higher, and then he's going to try to shake you off. So go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics check to maintain your grapple.
Oh, I get advantage. No, I'm stupid. I have to acrobatics. Yes. Boy. 24.
24. He rolled an 16 plus. Where's his plus? Plus. 5 plus 3, 8. Would you say 24?
Yeah.
He rolled a 24 too.
No.
All right.
So
wait.
another roll off?
Yeah, there's another roll. Yeah, there's another roll off. So roll again.
Okay. That is a 21.
21. Okay, so he rolled a 19. So you managed to hold on, and so he's just like trying to shake you off, and that doesn't work. With his second attack, he's gonna try to shake you off again. So
That's fair.
he's still
I'm
10 feet
annoying.
up. So go ahead and roll again.
Wait, is
Yeah.
this the fighter?
Yeah. Oh, he has
Yeah,
disadvantage. Right. Okay,
Because he's burning.
that's true. Yeah.
23.
Okay, so that hits. He's pissed, so he burns. He's gonna burn an action surge, and each time he tries to shake you off, he's flying a little bit higher. So now,
I love that he's burning an accent surge.
so now he's like 20 feet up. Go ahead and roll again
Okay.
with disadvantage.
Nat 20.
Okay, and one more time.
Alright. That is a 19?
24 with disadvantage, and like he rolled a natural 20, and then got a 24, so with a disadvantage.
No.
So he does manage to shake you off about 20 feet up. So you
On his
fall
sixth attempt.
on his 6th attempt, burning his action surge, killing all of his action economy for the round.
This was worth it, I think.
So
if only to make him suffer.
yes, so you fall. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 3
This
from the
was
fall.
totally worth it.
But he's up there now, and he's just like, Jesus, oh, fucking hell, and he's like, Drama, get her, and so he kind of points back to and he's gonna use the last 5 of his movement speed to fly back this way. So he's flying up here above her, and then
Bitch ass coward.
so seeing the current
How bad
situation.
does he look?
He looks like he's holding it together barely at this point. Both he and Samira are pretty beat up. And so at that point, Drana, at the back, the cleric, she kind of points up to the... is that a bonus action, Kaimana, to call down the lightning? Or is it an action? Because it
I can look it up real quick.
I've
I got it.
Because she can do... Because it's not casting a spell, so she can do her spiritual weapon.
Oh, don't they both concentration?
Action to call down lightning.
Takes an action.
It's actually good, so she can do both. So no, call lightning, or spiritual weapon's not concentration. All right, so she's gonna point over in your direction, Saurus, and this lightning bolt.
Gonna do both of us?
No, the lightning bolt's gonna strike here. So like it's gonna hit this dirt here, but you get to have to make a dexterity saving throw because it hits whatever's within 5 feet of the strike.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, so you take half damage from the lightning strike. That was a really bad roll. 18, so that is 9 points of lightning damage from the lightning bolt. And then Mar, as you're laying down, like looking up at the air, you see this trident appears in the air above you. And it's going to strike down at you with disadvantage because you are prone. That's not going to hit. But there's now a glowing, like a trident with like water swirling around it, floating in the air above you, Mar, where she's called out her spiritual weapon. All right, which takes us to Kaimana.
I will cast Call Lightning above the cleric.
Okay, and technically the cloud's already there, so you don't have to. You don't have to create your own cloud. You're going to use her cloud. It's not a naturally occurring storm, so you don't get the bonus D10, but you still can just use her spell. So you call it down. So they're going to.
If you're good, you can get both of them.
Oh yeah.
It has to get right there in between the two of them.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Take
this guy out.
She rolled a 14 on her saving throw.
So she failed.
Okay, and he rolled a 16 plus.
He passed.
He does pass. Okay, because I was trying to find his plus to his dex. Okay, so he takes half damage. She takes full damage. So go ahead and roll your 3d10. This is the first time. Oh no, she's been hit before, so it's good. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I hit her.
Yeah, you hit her.
What the heck? Okay, hang on, that's wrong.
Now I don't know if I should take the storm out now if Kaimana's using it.
No, you got sniper. Take
If
out
Kaimana doesn't get the winged dude out on this round, you probably can.
11.
11 points of damage. Okay, so
5 for half damage.
5 for Trana. Okay, 27. And then let me just check something really quick. I just have to see how you can use this ability.
Can anybody do healing?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
But
Because I'm gonna need some.
So
I was just thinking like how
I'll need some
no,
in his bag.
I do have cure wound.
all right, so you see like the lightning strikes, and for a moment like he stumbles back for a second, but then like you see him kind of like plant his foot and step forward, and there's kind of like this energy that kind of flows through him for a moment, and manages to regain his composure, but he was definitely almost out on that hit. But let me see, I have to see how much he regained from that. Okay. So he's on, like, it looked like he was about to go down. So he's still on his last legs, but he kind of captured a little bit more energy. And then the lightning hits her. Okay, good. Anything else you want to do, Kaimana, on your turn?
Heat metal damage.
Oh, right.
No,
Go ahead.
that's concentration, so it went away.
Right, because you're using call lightning. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Wait! I hit that dude with the
Wounding.
Wounding. Can I get wounding damage on him?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll your d4.
4.
Okay.
Does he die?
No.
Okay. Worth a shot.
He regained more hit points than that, but I mean, like, he's still looking really rough. He just has an ability that is able to bring him
I
back.
just love the idea of people running away from me and then just bleeding out. It's so funny to me.
Yeah, he does get to make his save on that. What is the save?
Oh boy, I always forget this one. I think it's a 14 something.
Okay, he rolled a 6. 17. So he saves, but that damage hits.
Yeah,
but then
DC 15 Constitution.
yeah, so the wound fades off of him as he kind of flies away from you. All right,
That's fine.
all right.
Can I bonus action hide?
Yeah. Well, no,
Or
that's
is that
a
full action.
that's a
I can use
full
my
action.
movement.
You can definitely use your movement. If you get back here, this is full cover.
No, I'll stay where I am.
Okay, you're under half cover there, as long as nothing comes from this side.
Does half cover do anything for small creatures?
Oh, for you, it's probably full cover. Yeah, you're full cover. It would be half cover for a normal, like a regular, a medium-sized creature.
Ah, yeah.
Yep, so-
Tiny voice with a wig.
So you're fully covered. Good. All right, Abel.
Oh, come on. I will step out from around the side of the thing.
Okay.
I'm looking for the puffy wing guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that bastard. And I'm gonna try to hit him with my Force Ballista as a bonus action.
All right. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Big money, no whammies. Where'd my Force Ballista go?
Hopefully, it's on your person.
Oh, it is. I thought the whole. A +8 to hit. God. I got a 3 + 8, an 11.
No, that. So you go to shoot, and he just kind of like takes his shield, and like the impact kind of glints off of his shield, and flies off, like into the rafters, and you see for a moment like Volmir just kind of throws out with his fist, and like a shield kind of flies through the air in that direction and absorbs the blast. While like there's some adventuring college like students up there like, holy crap, like we almost died.
Yep.
Stop, my bad.
Yep.
I think I want to cast.
Does Eldritch Blast have two shots?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to hit him with my Eldritch Blast.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Hit him with one, and then if he survives, hit him with the second. If not, hit Sora with the second.
The range is 120 on Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's 120.
Yeah, the roll would be at disadvantage because she's 6 feet up, and you're on the ground
Okay.
between there. But that'd be
Well, can I
okay.
take
Yep.
one shot at.
Yeah, go ahead and
hitting,
roll at him. Yep.
And if I have to move, I'll move. Oh, a 12 to
No-
hit.
No, so the second blast, like it impacts fully into his shield, but the shield just absorbs the attack.
One more shot. Come on, you can do it, Abel.
That's cool. A 16 to hit.
Nope. So the second blast, he's just kind of sitting there regaining his composure with the shield, and it just poof, hits the shield with no effect.
Nah, that's cool. I'll just hold my position.
You want to move back here?
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt.
Okay. All right. Which takes us back up to the top. Saurus, you're facing off against like breathing, furious, angry Samira there.
So of course I'm gonna hit her.
Okay, go ahead.
16.
She throws up the shield.
Second attack. Oh, that's a hit. That's a 24.
That definitely hits.
And I am going to electrical.
Yeah.
12.
12 points damage.
Yep.
Okay. And she collapses there.
All
Nice.
right. With my bonus, how far away am I from the closest enemy to me?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, with a narrow kind of walkway between you and them.
I couldn't jump across the gap, could I? 10 feet.
So the gap itself is 10 feet, and then it's a 10
It's
foot.
fine.
It's a 10-foot rise. So what's your full jump distance?
10 feet.
10 feet. Yeah. So
And
like
I'm sorry,
you could probably jump
Actually-
and grab and pull yourself up, but it would require a acrobatics check.
No, instead of that, I'm going to end up getting down off the platform. Basically, I'm going to take cover.
Okay, on this side.
Under the platform so the lightning can't get me.
Okay, so, and there's, like, you can crawl under, so you crawl under the platform. All right, cool. So you are now...
And I'll kind of get towards the edge so that when I come out next round, I can close ground with the cleric guy.
Okay, you want to be on this side over here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're underneath the platform there. Sounds good. All right.
I'm down to 1 hit point. When you did that 19 damage, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know how strong you are, but I'm hoping this will take you out. Fireball.
And then the lightning bolt. It's the lightning bolt that almost crisped me.
Yeah.
You should make your way back to a healer so we can try to heal you or something.
Well, I may do that, but first round, I want to be unexposed, so under the platform, because I have a plan for something to do next turn on my way back.
And underneath the platform, I mean, you're kind of like in. You can kneel under there. It's 4 feet or so clearance underneath the platform, so you can kneel in there. It's just a sandy bottom.
In frame.
Yeah, so you're there. All right. Which takes us to Marlowe. Half movement to get up.
Yeah, am I, like, from my like, if I got up to where the two of them are, would I still be able to be healed by anyone? Or is that too far?
You've watched Abel cast spells and hit them. And you've seen Kaimana cast spells in this direction and hit them, so you get the sense that they can probably hit that range.
Great, and
my healing is touch healing.
You do know, however, that both of them will go before your friends go.
Go big or go home. I'm gonna go up to them, and I want to get in between them. Like so I can hit both.
Okay, so you're gonna be over here.
Here's the problem: I have bloodlust, so I need to roll to see if I can pick which one I hit.
Yeah.
Or if I just
it's just everyone. Well, so hold on. So technically, the bloodlust is in effect as you're making the movement. So go ahead and roll the bloodlust now, because if you fail the bloodlust, you're gonna go for the cleric.
Okay.
Because she's the closest one to you.
I don't know why I just rolled a d8 like that would do anything for me. I think it's because I'm thinking DC 8.
No, wisdom saving throw.
I rolled a 10, so I'm fine.
Okay, so you get up there and
I
you
think
can...
this is the first time I've ever succeeded on one of those rolls, by the way. Cool. So I will pick to hit the
Wing boy.
fighter. Yeah.
Okay, the fighter. Okay, cool. All right, go ahead.
I'm trying to see if that's something I have to do before.
Is it before every attack or is it once per turn?
If you begin your turn.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah, so you're good.
One per attack.
Yep.
Okay, cool. No, it's not gonna hit on the first one. It's like an 11.
No, that's good. Yep. So go roll again.
Natural 18. So that is a 26.
That will hit. His armor class is 19.
Okay. Cool. And then bonus action, so I attack, natural 19.
So both those hit.
Cool.
Well, see if your first attack kills them first before you.
Yeah, roll damage on the first one just in case.
Okay. 28. Plus that is 15 points of damage.
That's so ridiculously close.
Am I one away?
Yeah.
Am I one away?
Literally.
Wounding. Does he take the wounding damage?
No, because he's made a save on the
Takes it at the
wound.
start of his turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so mad that I'm going to do the same thing again, where I hit him in the face. I don't want to do a rapier attack. I want him to go down with a slap in the face.
And you already rolled that attack, right?
Yep.
So damage doesn't matter. So you.
So what I do is I hit him like at the rapier, and I'm so sure it's gonna take him down, and he's just like barely standing, and I just kind of walk up and just give him just a basic slap on the face.
All right, good.
It's a backhand.
You hit him,
Yeah.
and
Backhand for sure.
yeah, and he falls out of the air, and then lands here.
And then I
and
turn
is
to the
unconscious.
cleric.
Okay. And the cleric, this Triton female, kind of turns, looks at you, and like realizes that she's now all alone. So good. All right.
The rogue that's taking no damage, right?
Yeah, the rogue is unharmed. Mar, anything else with your turn?
I'm pretty sure that's all I can do.
Okay. All right. So roll.
Boy.
That's 18 plus 5 plus 8 to hit. 26 to hit against you, Mar.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, and it's sneak attack because he didn't even bother to hide because you're next to his friend. Oh my god.
Oh,
Josh.
I have never seen a roll like that on 4d6s
Josh?
before.
Josh?
it's all one. It's all
Am I
one.
gonna be really mad at you right now?
You can be mad at the dice. That's 20 points of piercing damage. That was 4 5s.
Halved.
Half to 10. But
Cool.
yeah, plus his modifier. Hold on, what's his modifier really quick?
I hope it's not 8.
No, it's only a 5. So so
Cool.
it's 25 halved to 13 points of piercing damage.
25 is actually be 12.
12 points, sorry, yeah. So 12 points of piercing damage with the first hit, and then he's gonna roll again. 15. That's a 6, 7. No, it's 15 plus 5. That's a 20 to hit. But that's only 1d6. That's that's 10 points of piercing damage reduced to 5.
So that's a total of 17 damage.
17 damage that round from.
You know what's really fun is I get to join the 1 hit point. I had 18. I was so hoping on that roll.
Oh my god! So he's gonna run over and with his, and then he's gonna what can he can't. Easiest thing. He's gonna run over here and he disappears into this log. So he's inside the log.
Do I see
know
him
what-
do that?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
I know where the next lightning strike's hitting.
Yeah, I'm about to go down, I think.
Well,
12. No. It's hard to, like, this is 6 feet tall and he's about that. So, like, you don't see exactly where he goes. But you just,
That's right, you can kill the cleric.
yeah, you did see arrows coming from this direction, so you get the sense that he's probably over here somewhere. All right, which takes us to the death saving
cleric.
throw. She makes her death saving throw, and then death saving throw.
Wait, are they making death saving throws?
So even though it keeps you alive, like you can be brought back from unconsciousness, but if you go dead, the necklace,
Healing won't get you.
yeah, the healing won't bring you back up. So they can practice like real life strategy. So they both make their death saving throws, and then that takes us to the cleric, who's going to turn to you, Mar, and is relatively pissed at you. You see she's going to wield her mace in your direction, and she's going to make an attack at you. Let me see if she... No, she's going to make a spell attack at you. So she reaches out at you, and you see, like, as she's kind of pulling her hand up in your direction, like, you see this water kind of forming around her hand, and then it slowly turns, like, black and sludgy, and she's going to touch out in your direction.
That's not a good sound.
No, it's a plus 8 to hit. That's a 22.
Oh, I'm down. I'm
Okay,
down.
yeah, let me roll the
R.I.P.
let me just roll the 3d10 from inflict wounds that she just did.
I had 1 hit point, Josh.
I know, 16 points of necrotic damage. All right, so Mar goes down. Boop, boop,
Ow.
boop, boop.
How bad does the cleric look?
The cleric
She's gonna look bad.
the cleric is like breathing heavy, but does not look quite as bad as her friends.
All right, I know what I'm.
That's all right. Y'all can hurt her.
right, and then she's going to.
Maybe someone could bring a friend back.
Bring a friend back. Right. What's that?
Revive your good old friend,
She,
Mar.
she moves her spiritual weapon down this direction.
Why would she do that? There's no one threatening down here.
All right, and then she moves over here, and she's kind of preparing herself. Let me make her check. Oh no, she's able to do it. So she jumps down and kind of rolls into the sand, and then stands up over here. All right. Yeah, she can't do that this round. All right. That takes us to Kaimana.
Yeah, she getting enlightened.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw. That is an 18.
That passes.
Okay. So half damage.
That's 19.
19 points of damage halved.
So 9.
9 points of damage. Okay, good. All right. Nice. So it cracks out, which means he lost a death saving throw from that hit. All right. Good. Anything else come out? You want to move or do anything else with your turn? You now see this like trident floating in the air above you, like moving in your direction.
I would like to run my full movement speed towards the log that I know the Kinku is probably hiding.
20, 25. You can get 30 feet. You can get up to here.
I have 35 movement.
Okay, so you can get. I mean, you're there. You can try to go. You can go into the log.
Yes.
All right, so you go.
It's gonna be a tunnel rat knife fight. This is gonna be
You go into the log.
it's thunder log.
Oh my
Lord.
god, the two got each other.
Oh my god. So you go into the log and you look up, and at the other end of the log, 10 feet away or whatever, this little Kinko's like, he's looking in your direction. All right. Abel.
I want to go.
Run towards me and heal me.
Run towards me and heal me.
Yeah, do that.
Either one of you.
Can you run to where you can get a shot at the cleric boy?
Yeah, I have 30 feet of movement, so I want to go around the opposite side of the opposite
way to go.
side, the opposite side, and try to get as close as 30 feet will take me.
That's it.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
With
45,
this is like this is kind of in the way, so you have a kind of a view. She has partial cover.
Could I kind of see her though?
You can see her, but she have partial cover, which adds to her AC.
How much does it add to her AC? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna see. She's within 60 feet of me, right? Is that 60?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast the shatter spell, but I want to try to get it to where it's not going to hit Marlowe. It's a 10-foot here.
10 foot. Okay, so if you target her, it's not going to get hit Marlowe anyway, because Marlowe's 10 feet above her.
And they'll do a third death fail for Fighter Boy, so he can't be brought back.
It'll be a second death fail.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get the two adversaries and leave Marlowe out of it.
Okay, what's the saving throw on that?
It's a con.
Oh, Constitution saving throw? Okay.
She's probably really good at those.
She is good at those. Alright. That is 22.
Your mama. Okay.
Oh no, sorry, 21. It's only plus 8, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. A creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. So she succeeded. So 3d8 thunder. 13 half, so 6.
6, okay.
How's cleric looking now?
You can see from her vantage point, like that hit, like the shatter hits, and she kind of like drops to one knee for a second, and then slowly pulls herself back up onto her feet.
Okay. I'm going to,
Done.
Jesus, pull out my forceful.
Already planning on it.
Ball. Do I have any other bonus action thing?
Take a shot. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if like I have some. I think the force is the only thing that does. I have a lot of things that do like multiple shots, but I think that's the only thing I can do with the bonus action is the force ballista.
Yeah, because you already, unless you have a bonus action cantrip, you already cast a spell, so you have to do a
Yeah.
cantrip. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do force ballista to hit with a bonus action
Okay.
and
Roll big.
and roll big.
Yeah,
Or go.
she has half cover, so she has. Oh, that's actually probably 3/4 cover. So she has +5 to her AC.
Jesus Christ. Will a 25 hit?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 25 to the hit. 2d8 plus 4. 12 force ballista damage.
Okay.
Plus a d6 necrotic because she still got the hex on her.
Yep. She passes out.
And then a 4 for necrotic if that does anything.
No, she's passed out.
Okay, so her spiritual weapon should go away.
Yep, her spiritual weapon fades, and Kamana, the cloud fades above you, unless you want to continue concentrating on it.
No, I'm good.
Okay, yeah, so you guys watch as the cloud fades away.
And that's it. That's all I can do. I got no movement, nothing left.
Wait, spiritual weapon is not concentration, but it
Oh,
does
I
fade
could
because
drink
it's a
a
spell.
potion.
Yep.
I forgot those existed in this game.
And you guys have them, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You have what, Mar?
Potions.
I just remember that healing potions exist in D&D. It was just a little...
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Because I could run up and pour it into your mouth if you want.
And we don't we have
That'd
like, boots and
That'd be
stuff?
cool.
Then we went to that confection shop and got like some.
Yeah, you guys have treats and things, yeah.
I think one of them was a healing thing, right? But I was like, go ahead, continue.
All right. Which takes us to Saurus.
So I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna pour the healing potion in Marlowe's mouth.
All right, let's see.
Thank you.
5, 10, 15,
I
20,
need to get
25,
like Misty Step or something.
40, 45. What's your full movement speed?
45, but I can bonus step of the wind.
Okay, yeah, so that'll get you there. All right, and then with your action, you can rummage through her stuff, pull out a healing potion, and pour it in.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll. What is that? It's one. Is it a regular healing potion, more? It's 2d4.
Yeah.
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
I think so. Yeah.
I just don't want to end this fight unconscious. I want to stick it to these children.
You get a total of 8 back.
Thank you.
Ooh. I just see Kaimana like thunder waving this kid out the back of the.
You read my mind.
I mean, that's what I would do. That.
Like a
Third level
blunderbuss.
Thunderwave.
God, that's so funny.
All right.
Oh,
So Mar,
man.
you're up. So you have half your movement speed to stand up.
Cool.
Make a Wisdom
And I-
saving throw.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh boy. I'm fine. I rolled a 16.
Okay, you're good. So you
I
do
don't
not.
beat
You
the
do.
sh- I
You
don't-
do
I
not
don't
take.
automatically knock Saurus down once he heals me.
Saurus's 1 hit point.
And I tell Mar where I last saw him run. I probably didn't see him go in the log, but I saw him go around the corner. And I'm going to use any remaining movement I've got to head in that direction.
Okay. So you've got. Make a acrobatics check for me.
24.
Okay. You can get to there. Jumping across that 15-foot gap.
Can I see sources? I mean, Kaimana's little feet.
Yeah.
Out of the.
Yeah. You're good. All right, Marlo. What do you want to do?
Can I try to get to Kinker Boy?
Okay. So you can jump down. It's a 10-foot drop. So you can roll an acrobatics check with a or an athletics check.
Acrobatics 26.
Okay, you're good. And then so you can 5, 10, 15. You can get a. Where do you want to end up?
Don't get too close.
Yeah, I'll chill, I guess, where Soros is.
Okay, so you come over here to where Soros is. All right.
Yeah. Can
Which-
I, is it like can I, like, hold an attack on him?
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
he gets within 5 feet of you, you can hit him.
Yeah,
Yep.
can I just hold a quick little rapier attack if he gets him
If
melee
you could
range?
get- if you could get one more step forward, so you're not in direct line of the cannon, but if he goes flying past you, you can take a whack at him.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, like a baseball
Bowling
bat.
Pachinko!
All right.
Like he just comes past me and I just go.
All right. So so at that moment you do see like jumps out this way, and he 5, 10. He's gonna move past you.
So you get your
Is he
attack.
within my range?
He does move right past you. Yeah. So you can make an attack. He hasn't been hit yet. So
This poor little guy.
Okay.
He's in for a bad time.
I just imagine us like all gathering around him in a circle and just like kicking the.
23.
that hits.
Okay. D8 6. Ooh.
That lightning
Ooh.
damage?
Oh, yes. This is with lightning damage. That is 18 points of damage.
Okay. And he like as he's running past him, you slice him across the back, and he stumbles forward and maintains his step as he goes. And you see him kind of reaching into his pocket as he's walking by, and then he bends over the cleric and pours a health potion into her mouth.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
son of a bitch. The cleric's gonna go try to heal the party.
There's another round of death saves, though, so hopefully Fighter Boy will go completely out.
Yeah, because he only has to make one. So okay, so she heals up. Okay, all right, all right. So Samira death save fails, so she has one failure. Fighter Boy
Fail.
13 makes a save. So he's still got one. So if somebody punches him, he's gonna lose it. And then
Oh, I got that.
So,
Then-
would the Kinko take wounding damage right now, or
Oh.
on his next turn?
it would be on his next turn because you wounded him during his turn. So
Yeah, cool,
because
cool, cool.
it happens at the top of the turn. All right, so she stands up. Let me see what she's gonna do.
Is it past her turn already?
No, she goes after him.
Okay.
So that's why he picked her. So
Gotcha.
she stands up, and she's kind of shakes her head for a second. And she looks over in your direction, Soros and Mar, and holds out a hand. And I need you both to make what's Shatter Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Mar, and hold on. 10 feet. Yeah.
Yep.
Kaimana, Mar, and Soros.
But she doesn't know where Kaimana is.
She doesn't, but well, yeah, so she wouldn't put it there. That's true. Yeah, so just you two.
17.
Constitution.
17, that's a success. You take half damage.
Dirty 20.
Okay, success. What is that? It's 3d8 or 2d8?
If it's at second level, it's 3d8.
She'll cast it at third level, so 48.
Bitch.
she's mad. 12. So 21 points of thunder damage, is that what it is? I didn't write it down because I didn't think I would use
Yeah.
Shatter, but that seems right. Yeah, so 21 points of thunder damage.
And we push back any.
No. It just,
Not all successful.
yeah.
I'm down.
Boop. Mar.
Oh god.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe got your mission.
All right. But that is all that she can do on her turn. So you've got the rogue and the cleric there, Kaimana and Abel.
I will exit the tunnel.
This way? Or do you
No,
want
the
to
other way.
crawl through? Okay, do. You get over here. Yep.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on Soros.
Okay. So, Soros, you're up. Roll
That's
your
at second level.
so 2d4 plus your spell modifier.
7 hit points.
7 hit points, Soros. So you feel the energy kind of come back into you, and you open your eyes. All right.
And that's it.
Okay. You want to move back into the log, or you want to stay right here?
I'll move back into the log.
All right, so you crawl back into the log. Good. Abel.
Okay,
Can you get to Marlowe?
Can I get to Marlowe? Marlowe, where are you? Point at Marlowe for me, somebody.
This is as far as you can get with your movement speed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well,
That's cool.
You have an area effect spell that you can hit both of them with?
I can
Yeah,
shelter around.
I do. I can't really see the top of the...
Oh.
You've got a straight shot
Let
at
me
him.
pull
I
it
just keep
down.
power
a
napping through this fight.
little
Okay. That is a bit better. I, being the wise mage that I am going to use my only other second level spell. I'm going to try to cast Shatter at them.
All right, con save.
Shatter me, shatter you, shatter me.
The rogue fails. Yeah, the rogue fails. That was seriously 2 nat 1s in a row.
Yes!
So
Okay.
both of them fail. Go ahead and roll damage. They take full damage.
3d8.
High damage, high damage, high damage. Come on, D&D Beyond.
You got it, you got it.
It's 12 damage.
Okay.
And then she would take like another D6 of necrotic, right?
From the hex, yeah.
Yeah. And then she takes an extra 3.
Okay, so she's out again.
Okay, so for my bonus action, I can still see the little
Kinku.
Yep.
kinky rogue. I'm gonna try to hit them with a force ballista. I don't know if it
Okay.
Either.
what their gender identity is. So where's my force ballista?
In your
I
possession.
always lose this thing, man. Where is it?
I like to picture that Abel's like, where's the force ballista?
Like strapped on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
No, it's like a little like baby elephant that's like jumping around his feet, and he's like, "Where did it go this time?"
No. So a
Yeah.
17 to hit.
17 just hits.
Good. 2d8 plus. Oh, she's down. Can I? No, I can't do it. It's a bonus action to move my hex. Never mind. It's not rolling a damage. Hold on, my D&D Beyond is like frozen or something. Oh, 11 points of force damage, and he's pushed 5 feet.
How would you want to do this?
Yes.
I want to aim right for his little chest. So I'm gonna shoot my force blast in the middle of his chest and like push him up in the air. So you see his little wings just, and then he falls down.
So he flies back, lands on top of the cleric, and collapses there, unconscious.
I stand up.
All right, you do stand up.
Can
I go
anyone
past
help?
Yeah, I help Mar.
All right, so
Yeah.
so exiting out of, and it's interesting. Like as you go over to her to help her, there is a moment where you all feel this energy kind of come down from somewhere, and anybody who's like paying attention will see that Volmir is like casting a spell, and as he casts you feel the pulse of the amulets around your neck, and you breathe, and like all of the pain that you felt kind of fades away, and you come awake. If you feel like you're gonna be, like you were knocked out, you come awake, and like suddenly like all of this, the pain feels like just kind of a bad dream. And the energy, like you see the glowing energy of the orb as it kind of kind of expands outward for a second, and then dissipates, and all of that, whatever energy or damage that you absorbed during the attack fades. And then as everyone
we're
else
back
is
to
going
full
up,
strength?
yeah, you're back up to full strength. You used spell slots to do this, but like you're free to like rearrange your spells again, as long as you have the amulet. But like all it takes to regain the spell slots that you use during this fight would be a 10-minute rest with the amulet on, because it's because if they do like they're training them with like multiple battles back to back, they want them to feel what it's like to lose abilities over time and things like that.
Yeah.
So everybody's standing up. You see like the Kinku helps up the Triton, and then they're kind of all there, and then Samira kind of stands up at the other side, and she's like, God, that was a lot harder than I thought it was. And then Lady Callis is like, well, quite a show from the Adventuring Guild. Everybody give them a round of applause. And you hear kind of clapping and cheering, and like people are still like, who the hell are the Adventuring Guild? And,
Come on up.
and then you hear a scream.
Oh no.
And you look kind of all around and you're like, what is that? And you notice that somebody up on the second floor is like pointing, and you all kind of follow and look. The ASMR has not stood up yet.
Oh, I hit it.
Oh my god, can I go to him and try to like help, like see
Yeah,
what's
I'm
going
gonna
on?
run.
Yeah.
Can I like try to shove a potion in his mouth?
Yep, so you go over there to shove a potion in his
Well,
mouth.
no, first is he breathing, because I don't want to waste this potion.
Make a medicine check.
I want to see if I can cure wounds in this wound.
Is 17 on the medicine.
He is dead.
Oh no!
How did that happen?
I checked the amulet. Is he still wearing it?
He's still wearing the amulet. You do notice that, like, it's not pulsing with energy anymore. And you, like, yours was pulsing with energy when it released all the energy, like, the lightning that hit you, the fire, like, all that stuff kind of came out and dissipated out of you. His is not pulsing with energy anymore. You lift it up and you can see, like, singe marks all around his neck.
Can I?
Oh, I murdered this guy.
No.
Oh
Can I rearrange
no.
We murdered this guy.
I
Wait
did
a
the
minute.
last turn
I
on
never
this
touched
man.
him.
I want to cast Identify on
I
his.
backhanded this man to death. No.
No, what I'm guessing is the amulet was tampered with, and when it released the energy, instead of releasing it as healing energy, it released it as damage energy into his body.
Yeah,
You,
I want to cast Identify on the amulet to see if I can see any like odd schools of magic or anything like that.
okay,
That's-
so
Can I
Are-
investigate
are-
it physically to see
Yeah.
if there's anything fucked up about it?
make an investigation check. Are you using a spell slot or are you ritual casting?
I mean, I'm just gonna spell slot it because I want to.
Okay. So as you're looking at it, there's very clearly like some abjuration magic coming from it, but you also notice underneath it like some really dirty necrotic energy.
Oh.
I was throwing some necrotic energy on the battlefield, so let's not.
What was your investigation check, Marlo?
I didn't roll it. Natural 20.
As you're looking at it, you're kind of checking it, you're comparing it, like you pull Abel over and you're looking at his and comparing them. And as far as you can tell, surface wise, your necklace looks the same as his. When you flip it up, you can tell that whatever clasping energy that was used to put here, there's some like carved runes on the back of this that are probably elements of the commands. You notice that some of them have been looks like soldered over with some kind of metal, and that has changed the chemical structure or changed the runic structure of the spell.
I hold it up and go, this was tampered with.
Immediately, right next to you, Volmir Dorilis appears. He appears next to you, and he says, "What?" And he takes it, and he's like looking at it, and you see his eyes kind of go white for a second. This should not have been possible. Lady Callis, I would evacuate the premises. And Lady Callis says, "Everybody back to your dorm space." And you see everybody kind of starting filtering out. And then like Samira walks over, the cleric and the Kinku are there, and they're like, "What? Do you mean Thomas is dead? But that's not supposed to happen."
I don't know what career they're prepping for.
Come on, not now.
Soris, you're muted.
Well, I just say it was sabotaged. The amulet was tampered with.
Who had access to these?
Volmir says they're not kept exceedingly protected, but
Check and see if any
there's only
more
a few
damage.
people. That's a good idea. And so he kind of looks at all of yours. Yours all seem to be fine. It just looks to be Thomas's.
I'm sure they have more than just these.
Who passed them out? Who passed them out earlier? Is this was this random, or was someone trying to get him?
I gave you yours. Samira would have been in charge of her team's necklaces. They would have been given to her by the lead instructor.
Which is?
Well, Draven is his last name.
Does he teach animal tendencies? Basically, I'm asking if it was the professor that was getting into it with Samira.
Yes, it would be the same professor. Yes. And Lady Kellis is flying around.
One of his students.
Lady Kellis is flying around, and then she kind of drops down next to you, and she says, "Did one of you do something during the battle that would have disrupted the magic?"
We would not have been able to solder the backside of the amulet he was wearing.
None of us have that kind of magic, but whatever's been done on there.
Yeah, Volmir shows her like the thing, and she says, "This is not something that they could have done." She says,
If you know anyone who can do a resurrection, now would be a good time to call them.
Yes.
The closest would be the Church of the Tempest. I'll send word very quickly. Well, ticket takers, I believe I might have a job for you. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Jesus.
Ah!
Let me add solve the murder of Amir Thomas to my
Poor
list.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't have humiliated him so bad.
It was worth it.
It was totally.
jeez.
I mean,
man,
like,
you
it was
just murdered a
badass, and like
kid.
everyone's gonna remember how badass it was.
Mhm.
But
You jumping on and hauling him down, and him trying to shake you loose 6 times before.
Burning,
yeah.
burns his
Oh,
action surge because he's like, I need you the fuck off of me.
Getting burnt by Kaimana's heat metal. I mean, that boy took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And
You
if
really-
you hadn't have killed him, I was going to unload on him with my pistol. Basically, whoever was left standing when it got to my next turn was going to get shot.
yeah,
With
God,
the
a
ticket
shot would've
takers,
been
and we
such
just
a funny
handed out
way
the
to take the
report
Kinku
cards.
out.
The report cards.
Just gang up on the Kinku. Well, this is not a good. Hopefully, they can
Oh
Greater
boy.
or whatever. Is that what Greater Restriction does?
Well,
Burn people back?
no, but Source, you know that like the Church of the Tempest is the main temple in, and like they're known for Tempest clerics and things like that. So they have a lot of clerics that make that their home. So they would have somebody who could cast Resurrection.
I wrote
He's
down.
he's only mostly dead.
I went through like all my notes from our first session to now, and I wrote down 13 possible side missions that we could.
Well, like you guys were in like the starting zone, and now you're like in like the actual like game. So,
Yeah, so we've gotten out of the training episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Like I've given you a lot of potential paths that you could go. So
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
Oh man.
And I will
I
point
guess we're
out that
staying in high tower for a sec, huh, gang?
with Lady Kellis, we never told her what the tithe from an offshoot chapter house of the Adventurers Guild is going to cost her.
I mean,
that's
from
true.
what I've seen, I
Escorting
definitely,
this woman for sure.
from what
Absolutely.
from what I've seen, I want there to definitely be a life insurance stipend.
I mean, listen, Roland's
don't
got an
think they're prepared to
airship
be
fucking
spid.
thing to build, right? We actually need him to finish that pad for the airship in
Yeah.
town. So
Well, I was actually going to hire a messenger when we flew off. I was going to send a messenger back to Roland and telling him we have an airship. Finish the airdrome.
with what money? He's got nothing.
they're out. Yeah, they're out of money. So
Oh, no.
That's his problem. He needs to finish the airdrome.
Oh, boy.
He does have Tavik and Sora are doing like small jobs around Broadfield. So
Enough to finish
I
building.
don't think they're getting an airship,
Yeah.
buddy.
no, but there is some income coming into the Adventurers Guild from
And
those
hopefully
two.
we've encouraged people to start using the tavern, so
Yeah.
hopefully it'll start generating some income there as well.
Yeah.
And if we
So
do need
far.
to travel out there, my last puzzle, whatever, sleep, I like apparently found or made schematics to like find another way to help fuel the airship. So if we need to fly, but I need to build it, which will cost money. But if we need to fly all the way out there, hopefully there's another way that we can like fuel the airship. But it's not 100% guaranteed
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, because Abel knows that the airship requires a special kind of fuel that most aerodromes don't have. So
Alrighty.
Josh
We
is
can't
just
stay.
Josh
No,
is
we
just
can't stay at the absent rapier again. Oh no. No.
Josh is just nickel and diming us with technobabble, so we don't get to use our fancy new airship.
no, I gave Abel, like I said, here are all the places in Illyria that have a
Yeah, we
like. There are some
Looked at the map and
limitations.
timed
There are
them all
some
out.
limitations.
It's worth it for
Yeah.
the flex.
This is the DM equivalent of, yeah, you can get a puppy, but are you gonna pay for it? Are you gonna walk it? Are you gonna feed it?
when he said like docking fees, I'm like, God damn it! What the fuck?
Docking fees aren't even that expensive in modern America, so like they're not going to be super expensive in ancient
Because where they
times.
make their money is off of your refueling.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I
and
mean,
your power.
It used to be affordable, and then some jackass airship went and blocked the airship canal.
Exactly.
I did love that the first 30 minutes where it was announced that the boat had moved, put it back was trending on Twitter.
I can't begin to tell you how much people in the Navy hate transiting the Suez Canal because like Bedouins just take pot shots at the ships all the time, and so like it was like the Suez Canal is blocked, and like my feed was just full of good fuck that place.
Oh no.
It's the worst.
Oh my gosh.
Because like yeah, it's like here's the thing, it's as you've seen, it's difficult to do. Getting a ship through the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
So if,
Yeah.
It takes like 10 hours or whatever.
if you're on a bridge crew of like a aircraft carrier or a destroyer, you have to like see what you're doing, aka be near windows or be out on the bridgeway, which means you're exposed to be shot at.
Wow.
The guys are like, I would literally go anywhere else other than the Suez Canal. But they're like, we hate getting orders going from the Med to the Persian Gulf. It sucks.
Sorry, I'm writing down a list of suspects that we know of for this.
Oh yeah, keep that because I have no idea.
There's not a lot. I'm gonna be real. We don't know anybody in this town.
No, I mean like the people like Samira was in charge of this team and she touched the necklaces at some point.
Yeah, I just don't think any of the kids would have the power to do it unless they got help from someone.
Yeah.
But the instructor's sus. The other girl who got kicked off in place of that guy is sus. I don't trust whatever the fuck at all, but this would lose her money, so I don't think she did it. What are potential options? I don't know.
Like you guys walked into a murder mystery.
Exactly.
At least no one's blaming us.
No. Like
Like if we had a wizard on our team, maybe they'd be like, now wait a minute.
well, thankfully the guy who created the amulets wanted to stick around to watch your fight. So he was able to be like, wait a second.
May I point out, even though that Marlowe and I got crap kicked out of us in the course of things, neither Abel nor Kaimana took any damage.
Yep.
So even though it was a knockdown drag out for the two of us, I think overall that counts as an ass kicking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys definitely kicked a lot of ass.
You by taking away Samira's first round of action to try to get away from you, like she was a powerhouse, but she just didn't have a lot of hit points.
Yeah, and well, the whole thing was stay close to her so that a ranged spell has disadvantage if she's trying to hit something.
There's
and I did enjoy kicking her off the top of that platform.
Yes.
There's a podcast. Have you guys watched any of the Acquisitions Incorporated live playthroughs?
Mm-hmm.
Like back when they first started, they had a podcast, and one of them was the DM was playing this NPC who said, "First rule of combat: wizard dies first." And the wizard goes, "I'm an entertainer, sir." And immediately the DM goes, "How are your death scenes?"
Hey, I don't like that because an artificer is like a step away from a wizard. So
Yeah, you were too far away for them to be a focus on you.
that was the plan.
Yeah.
Kill the nerd! Kill the nerd!
I'm in the back going, well,
we have crazy fast rat and werewolf just going toe to toe with people.
no. If that's not
Though I did like the Kenku being sniper boy. That was good. I was hoping
I
he
didn't
was-
even have time to bust the wasps out.
There was no time for the wasp, and that's where we fucked up, gang. That was our one mistake.
There may be time for wasps at another day. Well, and like the Kinku was moving around to get to you, Abel, but then saw his whole team getting decimated, so
yeah,
and then ran into Kaimana in the log.
yes.
And his expeditious retreat there was probably the smartest thing he did all game. Because Kaimana with the Thunder Wave, that would have just been glorious.
No, I'm gonna get out of here. And he was at some point he was gonna use because he heard Marlowe speak and he heard Saurus speak, so he was gonna get near you, Abel, and he was gonna say something in their language, like the way they speak, and you would think that it was them. Because that's what Kinkus do.
That's rad as hell for a rogue.
So he could assassin you from behind.
But I already saw them go down, so I would have been suspicious about.
Yeah.
Like when I come around the corner, I saw like Marlo went down.
But he was making his move before all that happened. But I was like, ooh, he's gonna. But no, he never got to.
Well, I'm
Take
gonna
it,
go to
Tiger's
bed,
roll.
guys. Had a great
All right.
time.
Yeah. See y'all later. See you next
All
week.
right.